It's about to be a bumpy ride for indebted consumers. The installments that they have been paying on their debt will go higher. This along with other costs going up, such as fuel and food prices. Reserve Bank Governor Lesitja Kganyago says rising inflation is a global problem, and raising interest rates when inflation gets out of hand isn't the mandate of the central bank. The bank now expects inflation for this year to average 5.9% from the earlier 5.8% expectation, primarily due to higher food and fuel prices.
As a central bank with a price stability mandate, we see it as our responsibility to protect the incomes of working people by capping the rise in inflation. So the policy stance that we are taking here, we deem it to be appropriate and to be responding to the cries of South Africans when prices are rising. We have got a responsibility to cap inflation because inflation is eating into the incomes of the working people in South Africa. We have got to live true to our mandate, and we will not allow inflation expectations thus to de-anchor.
With the rising interest rates, for consumers with a bond of 500,000 rand at prime lending rate, the bond repayment will go up by 155 rand. For a 1 million rand bond at prime rate, the repayment will go up by 312 rand. One economist says this increase in interest rates will put pressure on households that are already struggling.
I'm looking more on a social level. So I'm looking at small businesses. I'm looking at the level of poverty that we're experiencing in the country and the very high youth unemployment that we're experiencing right now. There are large numbers of people leaving entering into the workforce or leaving school, and they are finding it very difficult. And that is going to put a lot more pressure on households in the moment. Households are struggling with where to spend. The bucket of income is really, really tight for them.
The Reserve Bank has revised downwards expected economic growth for the local economy to 1.7% for this year, from an earlier 2% forecast. It says this is due to a combination of short-term factors, including the flooding in KwaZulu-Natal and continued electricity supply constraints. Gloria Sefakomosi, SABC News, Johannesburg.